Hey guys, Mrs. Garza here. Okay, so today we begin our first major grade of the second 9 weeks. So it's very, very important that you focus. But first, we are going to review compound sentences, and we are going to go ahead and review compound sentences real quick, and then you're going to do practice. So for a compound sentence, we have two simple sentences, which we looked at yesterday, and we combine them using either a comma and fanboys, which are coordinating conjunctions for and, nor, but, or, yet, so, or we can combine them using a semicolon. So let's look at our examples. The skeletons, so here's our subject, danced all night long, our predicate, comma, and they scared many people. The skeletons danced all night long, semicolon, they scared many people. Both work. You can use either one you want. More often than not, we tend to lean more towards the comma and the coordinating conjunction. So, really, it's your preference. So, make sure, though, that you are combining two simple sentences. So, you should have two subjects and two predicates in these sentences. Okay, so two complete simple sentences are combined using comma and our coordinating conjunction, which our acronym is fanboys, or using a semicolon. You are now going to go into Schoology and you're going to complete the compound sentence practice and do the best you can, practice as best you can, asking questions if you have them, because on Friday you have a quiz. Okay, next. Now, to introduce our project, we need to discuss what is a pamphlet. A pamphlet is pretty much, more often than not, a piece of paper that's folded in threes, and it gives you information about a topic. So think about when you're sitting in HEB and you're in the checkout and it was just like the longest HEB trip ever, and you just want to go home and you're bored and the line's long and you're looking at all the magazines like the Inquirer and like what's going on with the royal family, right? Because they show all that nonsense in those magazines and the celebrities and everything. And then you look up and you're like, oh, that's weird. There's like a folded up piece of paper about snakes in state parks up there. That's a pamphlet. That pamphlet's giving you information on what kind of snakes you might find in the various state parks across Texas. You can get pamphlets on a lot of different information. You get them when you get parks or maps at theme parks. You can get them about different illnesses or conditions people might have to give you information. You can get them on fish at the pet store, whatever, right? So it's like a small unbound booklet that is used to provide you with information and advertise something. They're not necessarily trying to sell something, but they're trying to give you information. Okay, you are going to create a pamphlet. It's going to be based on the article, A Quick Note About Getting Better at Difficult Things. We read it yesterday. I'll give you a brief recap on it in a minute. You're going to have the rest of this week. So we scheduled out this week. You have tasks to complete Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you stay on schedule with us, you should have no problem submitting your assignment Friday, and you're done. If something comes up, like you have a doctor's visit, you get a little behind, you're out of town, things happen. We understand. This assignment's going to be due on Monday. So that means you have the rest of this week and the weekend to complete it. And a quick reminder, I am doing crazy contact for assignments, okay? So I already messaged you about our first assignment for this 9 weeks. I will be messaging you on Friday if you're not done to remind you to finish it again on Monday, and I'll be calling parents as well. It's very important that you get this major grade done. It's a major grade. Many of you learned that if you don't do your major grades, it can drop your average. It can drop your average 40 to 50 points. It totally depends on the situation, and there's no reason for that to be the case. These tasks are all things that we've learned, and so you're capable of completing them. It's just a matter of you sitting down and doing the work. And you can do it. We know you can. We need you to sit down and focus and make that choice, okay? So, that being said, let's do a quick recap. This is a resource you're going to be using every day, okay? So that's why I put every day at the top of this slide. Now remember, our article is written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and he is a writer, a journalist, an educator. And he says in his article, he knew from a young age he was meant to be a writer. It's like I knew it. My mom started teaching me when I was 6. I just always felt that I could write, but I never felt that I could learn a foreign language as an adult, which is a pretty daunting task. And especially as you get older, you'll realize, oh my gosh, why didn't I use my foreign language classes more when I was growing up? I wish I remembered a lot of the Spanish that I learned. So he's saying, it's hard. Like, I never thought I could learn this. And, but what happened is I started to learn it and I felt horrible. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden I went to Montreal, which is a French speaking district in Canada. And you know what? I was speaking French in the train station. I was speaking French at the restaurant. I was speaking French in my hotel. It's like, I just realized I got better. And I didn't really feel it. It wasn't like this aha moment all of a sudden. I was better. And he says, I think what's interesting is that people tend to let their feelings get in the way of their progress. We get so down on ourselves and we think that where we're at in this moment, that's where we're going to stay forever. We're never going to improve. We're never going to get better. But that's simply not true. If you let yourself get better at difficult things, then you will improve. That's not to say you're going to be perfect, but you're going to get better. And better never means I'm perfect, I'm fluent, I'm amazing. Better means that you've made progress. So that is the gist of what Ta-Nehisi Coates was trying to tell us. Now, if you go just based on that brief synopsis of the article, you will not be successful with this project. Make sure you read the article itself. If you have questions understanding any of it, let me know. Okay, so here we have a little to-do list. We have check marks that you can drag and drop, and my iPad never lets me do this. It's quite irritating, but that's okay. I will stop focusing on this. So drag and drop the little check mark to each little slot on your to-do list as you finish it to help you keep track of what you've done and what you need to get done. So Tuesday, which is today. What day is it? I don't know. Tuesday, you are focusing on creating the cover to your pamphlet and the summary. Wednesday, you will work on imagery and figurative language activities as well as theme. Thursday, you're looking at author's purpose and text evidence. And then Friday, you're going to check your spelling and grammar, and you will submit it because you will have worked very diligently throughout this week to get it done on time. Next. Okay. Delete that because that's not supposed to be there. Now, your first two tasks for this project. First, on this left side, you are going to create a cover. If you saw this pamphlet somewhere, all pamphlets have pictures. That's just part of it. So if somebody's talking about getting better at difficult things and learning how to speak French, what pictures might you use on the cover of this? So you're going to pick some pictures, words, phrases. What kind of cover photo, cover design would you create? So you're going to create that there. If you need any little tips and tricks on how to make formatting and whatnot, let me know. Mrs. Garcia and I are pretty savvy in that department, so we got your back there. Okay, summary. Write a 3 to 4 sentence summary of the article. Include beginning, middle, and end. We have a resource for you over here that you can reference to remind you what was Ta-Nehisi Coates discussing in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. And that will be the conclusion of your tasks for Tuesday. There's no reason to not get those things done, okay? You absolutely need to complete that on Tuesday. Wednesday, we will do a quick brief refresher on compound sentences. You will do another practice in Schoology because practice makes perfect. And then your 2 tasks for your major grade. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a beautiful writer, and he uses a great deal of imagery and figurative language to get his point across and to help emphasize the meaning of the theme and what he's trying to tell you, okay? So I want you to use these sentence starters to explain. You need to find imagery and figurative language in the article, and you're going to use these sentence starters to explain what that figurative language and imagery is and what it helps the reader to understand. So one example of figurative language in the article is, this helps the reader to understand ... One example of imagery is, this helps the reader to understand ... Fill in the blanks. I definitely think you can find at least one of each. A reminder of figurative language is over here on the left. Theme. So remember, theme is lesson learned. So what lesson does Ta-Nehisi Coates want you to learn after reading this article? So the theme of the article, a quick note on getting better at difficult things, is fill in the blank. I know this because fill in the blank. Those are your only 2 tasks, grammar and these 2, for all of Wednesday. There's no reason for you not to get it done if you're focused and on task. And if you have questions, do not just stop and give up. You stop and you message us or you hop back on the Zoom. Okay, we're moving right along to Thursday. So, Thursday, quick refresher on compound sentences, because that's what we're studying right now in grammar. You're going to then, let me copy and paste this guy. You are then going to go into, let me change that to Thursday. Okay, Thursday. Okay. So then you're going to go into Schoology, do your last practice, because tomorrow you have Friday you have a quiz. So take this practice seriously, do the best you can. And then you're going to come back, you're going to start working on the last 2 sections of your pamphlet. We have author's purpose. What was the author's purpose for writing this article? And we can put, let's see, Ta-Nehisi Coates wrote this article because this is going to be more than one sentence. You need to explain. Okay? And then text evidence. So, what is the text evidence that you're going to use to back up your author's purpose? How are you going to support it? And remember, we have author's purpose notes over here to help you out. And we move on to Friday. So, Friday, October 23rd, 2020. You will finish and submit your pamphlet project. Okay? You need to check for spelling. You need to check for grammar. You need to make sure it is perfect and 100% complete. I'm very, very tired of getting incomplete assignments turned in. When you're done with that, you're going to submit. Then you're going to make sure your grammar quizzes are done, or your grammar quiz is done. And actually, it's not a grammar quiz. It's both. It's an article and grammar quiz. Got a little bit of both in there. And then finish your Helen Keller bio poem. The order of Friday might be switched up a little bit by the time we get there. If it changes, I'll change it in the slides. Okay, here's a rubric on how you'll be graded for your assignment. Make sure you understand this, and you know if you don't do the figurative language, you're going to lose 15 points. If you don't do theme, you'll lose 15 points. It's very important that you understand how assignments are graded. And this is due Monday, October 26th. So make sure you're focused, make sure you're on task, and do the best you can. And please, please, please ask us questions. We hope you have an awesome week.